What's up, guys? It's Isaiah here from TCG Insights, and today we're going to be talking about my performance at a League Cup this past weekend. I attended. It was in Manchester, Connecticut, and I decided to play Charizard with the list on the screen, and let's get right into it. So, I decided that I wanted to play a deck that had a lot of 1-ofs and that could challenge me in every single round, and I just wanted to get some practice for Orlando. So let's dive into the list. We played 2 Charmander with Heat Tackle, 1 Charmander with 70 HP. Reason why you played the Heat Tackle, the reason why I chose the 2-1 split was because that I felt that having the Heat Tackle was very important in a lot of matchups to set up math later on with Charizard EX. And the 70 HP Charmander is just really good against stuff like Sableye, Miraidon, with peak acceleration. Because the play that they can do is, if I have 1 Charmander in play, is they could go Boss, the Charmander, or Prime Catcher, use peak acceleration with a future booster capsule, or just 1 Iron Crown, and take the knockout. So that's why I decided to go for the 2-1 split. And also, like I said as well, Sableye as well. Play 1 Charmeleon with the Flare Veil ability. So again, really good against Sableye, the best Charmeleon. Then I played 2 Charizard with the Inferno Rain ability, and Burning Darkness, arguably probably the best attacker right now in the standard format. And it's just big body, does a lot of damage, and Charizard's cool. You may be wondering why I played 2. I decided to play 2 because I felt that, like, in a lot of the games that I played with this deck, I felt that I usually only use like 1 or 2 Charizard. Sure, the third one is cool in case if you prize double Zard, which did happen to me a couple times throughout the event, in Swiss and in top 4 of the event, but I was still able to almost come back in those games. Then I play a 1-1 Pidgeot EX line, 1 Pidgeot with the Call for Family. Call for Family is really good, just in case if you don't hit your Buddy Poffins or your Nest Balls. It allows for that extra consistency to set up. 1 Pidgeot, quick search your deck for any card that you need at any given time during the game. Play a 1-1 Bib line. I decided that instead of playing a 2-0-2 Pidgeot line, I decided for the split, because Bobero is very good against Roxanne and late game Ionos if they go Counter Catcher or Prime Catcher up Pidgeot, Roxanne, or Iono to knock it out. Bobero is there as a fallback, and it's also very good to just keep cycling through the deck as well. And I also played some spicy cards coming up. I played a 1-1 Slowbro line from Pokemon Go with the Twilight Inspiration attack. For some of you viewers who may not know, Slowbro with the Twilight Inspiration attack for 2 colorless energy. If your opponent has exactly 1 prize card left, you take 2 prizes. You may be wondering, why in the world am I playing this line, instead of better cards? So the logic behind Slowbro is that sometimes in the Charizard mirror match, you can force your opponent to 1 prize, and you can often checkmate them by going Iono and taking your last 2 prizes. But sometimes Slowbro can act as the 3rd Charizard in that sense, where being able to just win the game in combination with Salvatore all in 1 turn just throws them off guard. I was able to pull off this play a couple times. Sometimes I had to preemptively bench a Slowpoke, sometimes I had to discard the Slowbro with an Ultra Ball, or if my opponent played like Eerie, or used Luxray, they gained the knowledge. So like, it's good when your opponent doesn't know about it, but when they know about it, they like kind of have to play around it. But they do, in fact, try to play around it. But in some instances, even when they do know about the knowledge of a card, you can force them to go in a prize mapping way if they go 1-1-1-1 or 1-2-2, and then they have one left, and then the Slowbro wins the game. It can put yourself in a lot of checkmate positions, and you can also, against some random decks, you can go Counter Catcher, Roxanne, Slowbro if you're way too far behind in the game, and then you can just win by using Twilight Inspiration for like 2 turns in a row. Play Manaphy Jirachi, the Lost Zone, and the Bench Protection package. Manaphy is really for Chien-Pao, it's mostly for Radiant Greninja. Jirachi, again, it's for Sableye. You could arguably cut the Jirachi for Mist Energy, which is probably something that I would do going forward if I were to play this deck again. You do play the one of Cleffa. Cleffa's really good since people are playing Spiritomb now. And it acts as your second Rotom, but as a 1-prizer. I do also play a one of Mawile and a School Vet. The Mawile is good to... The Mawile School Vet combo allows you to stall the game as an alternate win con. And it's also... The Mawile is good in the mirror because if you're playing against a Zard player who takes a single prize KO, you can go Tempting Trap, hit for 90. They can't retreat. And then if they knock out your Mawile, you can, or any Pokemon, you could go Rare Candy Zard Knockout because it adds an additional 90 damage to any attack that you do, essentially. So it's like another tool in a sense. And so now you're doing 240 plus the 90 with the Mawile. You're doing 330, so you knock out a Zard. So then they have to respond with their own Zard again. Then Squilvet, combos well with Bibarel. Shuffle your hand, put it on the bottom of the deck, draw a card. Essentially, so you can just trap, never deck out. Again, with the rise of Spiritomb, it's better than Pidgeot. I played one Regieleki with the Electromagnetic Sonar attack. Opted for Trainer Recovery. Pretty good since there's a lot of one-ofs. Play one Radzard. Radzard's really good. Into a lot of matchups. Into a lot of 2-prize decks. Arguably, you can cut Radzard. I used it a couple times throughout the event. It didn't really come up too much, but again, the event was such a small sample size that in future events, I could see you playing the Radzard. And for the support Pokemon, you play one Rotom, draw 3 cards, and eliminate on search your deck for a supporter. So that wraps up for the Pokemon, and for the supporters, 3 Arven, 1 Boss, 1 Roxanne, 1 Iono, 1 Turo, 1 Roseanne's backup, 1 Salvatore, 1 Team Yellow's Cheer. 3 Arven, consistency supporter, allows you to search out your Ultra Balls or Candy, Nest Balls, Buddy Puffin, and any of your tools. 1 Boss, best Gusting in the game, and a supporter besides Prime Catcher. Roxanne is very good in the mirror, and it can put your opponent on a 1 or 2 turn clock with a 2-card hand. Iono is really good, disrupting. Sometimes you want to put stuff on the bottom. Arguably can be stronger at some points in the game than Roxanne, but just having the option with Iono, the one split of Iono Roxanne is very good. Wait, one Professor Turtle scenario. This is really good against Control. It's good in the mirror. It's also good into Lost Zone. Into a lot of decks that just can't deal with Charizard. And it can also remove Pokemon from your board that you just don't want. You play one Roseanne's backup. This card is okay. What it allows you to do is recover in any combination of the following 4. Pokemon Stadium Special Energy Tool. So you can recover your tools such as Heroescape, Defiance Band, your Artisan, and also get back Double Turbo. I do play one Salvatore. Salvatore is in combination with the Slowbro combo. I do play one Team Yell's Cure. Again, more supporter recovery. Now getting into the items. 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Nest Ball, 4 Ultra Ball, 3 Nest Ball, 4 Rare Candy, 3 Buddy Puffin, 2 Super Rod, 1 Pow Pad, 1 Student Heavy Ball, 1 Counter Catcher. The item lineup felt really good. Wouldn't change anything about it. For the stadiums, I did play 1 Artisan to increase Pokemon consistency. Getting into the tools, for my Ace What's of choice, I chose Heroescape. Heroescape was very good in putting your opponents. It's really good to put your opponent's in a very awkward scenario because Iron Leaves can no longer KO a Zard after you KO, let's say, something in the Giratina matchup. They can no longer go Leaves, drop it, take 2 prizes. They have to go Lost Vacuum and Leaves. So it's an additional card for that combination. It's also really good to attach to Pidgeot in any Giratina matchup because now they can no longer Lost Impact. They have to use their Star Requiem. And just, again, big bodies, is really good. And just throwing a Pokemon in the active with 430 HP, not a lot of decks can deal with it in one turn. Defiance Band, really good. It's essentially our damage modifier besides Mawile. Really good in combination with Radzard, Charizard, and Pidgeot, I guess. Can allow you in the Lugia matchup to KO a Cincino, in return, but it's like very niche. It's very niche that it's gonna happen. 1/4 Steel Stone, again, in combination with the Rotom and Lumineon, search deck for any card. It's pretty good. I play 5 Fire Energy and 1 Double Turbo. Double Turbos for the Slowbro, Radzard, Pidgeot. The Fire Energy is really good. You may think that's a little low for the energy, but in combination with 2 Super Rod and Regieleki, it's fine. So that's the deck itself. Now I'm wanting it and talk about some of the matchups. Round 1 of the League Cup. This is it. This was a best of 3 League Cup, so this deck was a very good pick. It was either that I win or I lose or we tie kind of deck. It's either I win a long game 1 and then I can win, a quick game 2, go 1-0, or I just lose a set. Or if I win game 1 and then I lose game 2, I'm most likely tying with this deck. Round 1, I hit Future Bots with Iron Leaves. It wasn't Turbo Hands, it was just typical Miraidon, Iron Hands, Miraidon, EX dot deck. There wasn't really much to talk about. Game 1, he got turn 2 hands, I believe. Can't really remember. The game was in his favor, but then my opponent swung with a Miraidon, causing him to get a 2 prize penalty because he let that an extra card, thinking that was the hands, and then I won from game 1 from there. Game 2 was just like a complete washout for them. They didn't set up, and I was just able to take control of the game with Zard. Round 2, I hit Guardy. Yes, Gardevoir. I was not expecting this deck at all. I got 2-0'd. Game 1, I just couldn't set up. But I decided to drag out the game just because to see what they had in their deck and what options they had. And it didn't work out because in game 2 we went to time and I lost on the last turn of time. Round 3 I hit Dialga. Dialga was by far probably the closest set I had during Swiss. I won game 1 because I came back with Roxanne, Counter Catchers, Iono. Zard with Hero's Cape was really good. Game 2, I lost due to Mew-EX copying my Mawile. I played the Mawile. I should, looking back on that game, I should have never played the Mawile down. Because they give him the out for boss, hacking, copy bite, knock out my Mawile. Also in game 1, I should have lost due to the fact that my opponent, I won Iono, they drew Prime Catcher, and they whiffed on 2 Matangs to get 1 energy. So, you take those in game 3, my opponent didn't set up, but if the game had played out, I definitely would have won it, but there's nothing that you can do. Round 4, I hit Lost Zone. Game 1, took control. Game 2, I took control as well. Round 5, I hit Charizard Bibarel. Game 1, I decked him. I essentially Mawile trapped his Bibarel. He just mismanaged his energy. Yada yada yada. That was it. Game 2, he didn't really set up. He just had Zard and just always, he didn't really set up during that game. He had Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking, but it just wasn't. it wasn't going to be enough for him. That was game 1. That was game 2, and then rounds. So at this point, I'm 3-1-1. I'm just thinking I don't want to hit the Zarmir. There's a whole bunch of ties throughout the event. I'm thinking maybe a 3-1-2 can make it in. And surely enough, round 6, I sit down. We're looking at standings, and I offer my opponent the ID because there's a bunch of ties. There's a bunch of 3-1-1s. Not all of them are going to ID, and a lot of them are playing it out. So we take the draw. It guarantees ourselves a better shot. It almost guaranteed my opponent top 8, and I was on the bubble. So, making it in top 8 as 8th seed. Top 8, I play against my friend Mo. He's the 1st seed, I'm the 8th seed. He's playing Pidgeot Control. Game 1, I lose because mostly I want to read his deck, and I scooped when there was like probably 20-ish minutes left, knowing that I can win game 2 quick, and then if we get into game 3, I would mostly win due to the prize roll and the sudden death roll, due to top cut roll. So that was kind of my win con. Game 2. So game 1 I lose. Game 2 I win because I knocked out his only Pidgey. I go first. I win. Start Charmander, attach fire, instant charge, pass, he went draw, bravery charm, pass, I went draw, rare candy, Zard, knockout. Game 3, he just couldn't establish anything. He pressed his heavy ball, Rotom, and Daisy's help, so he couldn't look for any additional draw. So I'm now in top 4. I'm feeling pretty nervous because I'm playing against Lustina. Lustina is a very sketchy matchup. Due to the fact that they can, take advantage of Sableye, Cramorant, and this list was not playing the Bayonet. It was playing Radiant Greninja with the Water Energies, and I was more scared of that because my deck can fall very easily to a turn 2 Moonlight Shuriken. Game 1, I win, took control of the game. He bench shot himself. I was able to just constantly put the pressure with Charizard. Game 2, I prized both Zardiets. My only one con was Radzard knocking out, and hope I find my Charizardiets, and it was a 33% chance, and I did not. Game 3, and then that game, we went to time. Game 3, he went I make him go first. He goes Cramorant, draw, pass. I go turn 2, Charmander, Rotom, instant charge. Oh no, I didn't even instant charge. I eligible for Lumineon to hold it. There's a new Forest Seal Stone was in the deck. And I also knew that Rare Candy and Zard were in the deck, and I had enough energy. But in hindsight, I probably should have just bench it, use the Lumineon just in case if he Iono'd. And then he played Chorus. Chorus did nothing. I went Rare Candy Zard. Knockout. The game was over. In the finals, I hit the person who I ID'd with in the 6th round, Vaughn. It was 8 PM at this point. I didn't want to play the Zarmir. I gave him the win. And it locked up his invite to Hawaii. So, different kind of video. More of a League Cup. It's a League Cup reporting. Decided to try this out. Maybe I'll do this in the future for Orlando. Since I'm going this weekend. Not sure what I'm going to be playing. Maybe I play something similar to this. Maybe I play Tino, Burnett. I'm not sure. But anyways, thank you guys for watching the video. And TCG Insights, signing out.